What are your plans for the off season and possibly playing or just doing individual workouts?
Yeah, I mean, probably take a little bit of a break here, just for maybe a week. I don't really want to lose a ton of the stuff I've worked on, and just trying to get my body back to full health. There's some USA back.
The internet has been in absolute meltdown mode for the last 48 hours. And if you have been following the trajectory of women's basketball even casually, you know exactly why. Rumors started flying that Caitlin Clark, the undisputed face of the sport and the rookie who single-handedly changed the economic reality of the WNBA, was finally done with the disrespect. The chatter suggested she was packing her bags for a completely different roster, a different city, or perhaps even a different league entirely. We've seen the headlines, we've seen the leaked offers, and now we finally have clarity. After a season defined by hard fouls, jealous rivals, and a league establishment that seemed to resent her very existence, Caitlin has officially made a move that changes the landscape of the sport. But is she leaving Indiana for good? Or is something much bigger happening behind the scenes that the casual fans are missing? To get the full picture, we have to peel back the layers of what has been the most chaotic rookie year in sports history. To understand why this news of a new team is shaking up the sports world, you have to look at the battlefield she just survived. From the moment she stepped onto a WNBA court, it wasn't just basketball, it was open warfare. We saw veterans who had spent years claiming they wanted the game to grow suddenly throwing cheap shots, hip checks, and hard fouls the moment the cameras were on Caitlin. It felt coordinated, it felt personal, and it was ugly. The most infamous moment, of course, was the cheap shot from Chennedy Carter during the Chicago Sky game. The ball wasn't even in play. Caitlin was waiting for the inbound pass, and Carter came blindside, slamming her to the floor with a shoulder check that looked more like a linebacker blitz than a basketball play. It sparked a national debate about jealousy in the league, and while the media tried to downplay it as competitive fire, the fans saw the truth. She was generating millions in revenue for the league, chartering flights for teams that used to fly commercial, and yet she was being treated like an outsider in her own house. But the physical beatdowns weren't the only sign that the establishment didn't want her. The ultimate disrespect, and the moment that truly sparked the rumors of her leaving the WNBA system, came when the Olympic roster was announced. Despite leading the league in assists, despite selling out arenas faster than any athlete in the country, and despite being the only reason millions of people were tuning in, the selection committee left her home. They claimed it was about experience and seniority, but insiders and fans alike speculated it was entirely personal. They didn't want the Caitlin Clark show to overshadow the veterans who had been waiting for their moment in Paris. That snub didn't just hurt, it sent a clear message that no matter what she did, the old guard wasn't going to let her in easily. The visual of Team USA playing in front of half-empty arenas in Paris, while Caitlin Clark was back home, resting and preparing to shatter records, was the ultimate irony. And that is exactly when the other offers started rolling in. While the WNBA was busy debating her worth and trying to humble her, other organizations were ready to empty the bank vault to get her away from them. This is where the story takes a turn toward the financial stratosphere. First, it was Ice Cube and the Big Three League. This wasn't a small endorsement deal. This was a history-making proposal. Ice Cube threw a massive $5 million offer on the table just for her to play a handful of games. To put that in perspective, her WNBA rookie salary was roughly $76,000. Ice Cube was offering her life-changing generational wealth to leave the toxicity of the WNBA behind and play with the men. Critics screamed that she should take the money and run. They argued that the WNBA didn't deserve her loyalty if they weren't going to protect her on the court. She eventually turned it down to stay loyal to the women's game, but that loyalty came with a price. It proved she was bigger than the league she was playing in, and that power dynamic terrified the establishment. This brings us to the new team headlines dominating your feed right now. There has been a massive disruption in the off-season market, and it centers around a new league called Unrivaled. Founded by superstars Breanna Stewart and Napheesa Collier, this league is launching in Miami to compete directly for viewers during the off-season. This isn't just a pickup game, it is a direct challenge to the status quo. They didn't just want Caitlin to join, they reportedly prepared a Lionel Messi-style offer for her. We are talking about equity in the league, a massive salary that dwarfs anything in the WNBA, and total creative control over her brand. The speculation was intense. If she joined Unrivaled, she would be playing on a hand-picked roster designed to highlight her skills, far away from the rough-and-tumble politics and the slow-footed coaching of the WNBA. Fans were begging her to join, desperate to see her unleash her full potential without being headhunted every night by players who resent her paycheck. The Unrivaled situation is fascinating because it exposes the financial cracks in the WNBA model. The fact that a startup league can come in and offer the biggest star in the world a deal that includes ownership, equity, shows just how undervalued the players have been for decades. For Caitlin, the decision wasn't just about money. She has plenty of that from her $28 million Nike deal and her Gatorade contracts. It was about respect and environment. The Unrivaled League promises a 3-on-3 format, which gives players more space to operate. For a shooter and playmaker like Clark, this is a dream scenario. It eliminates the clogging of the paint and the double teams that frustrated her. During the early parts of the WNBA season, the rumor mill went into overdrive when reports surfaced that Unrivaled was holding a wild card spot specifically for her, waiting until the very last second for her to say yes. It was a power move, showing that they were willing to bend the entire structure of their organization just to have her on the roster. But while the world was watching Miami and waiting for the Unrivaled announcement, the real new team reveal happened right in Indiana. The Fever front office finally woke up. After watching their star player get battered for months with zero adjustments, and watching the team struggle to close out games they should have won, they cleaned house. They fired head coach Christy Sides. This was a move that fans had been demanding since June. Sides, while well-respected personally, seemed completely out of her depth coaching a generational talent like Clark. We saw the viral clips of Caitlin on the sideline, looking frustrated, shaking, her head, and sometimes visibly disagreeing with the play calls. The offense was stagnant, often forcing Clark to give up the ball to players with lower shooting percentages, effectively neutralizing their best weapon. By firing Sides, the Fever admitted that the trust the process approach wasn't working. And then came the hiring that changed everything. The Fever officially hired Stephanie White. This isn't just a staffing change, it is effectively a new team. Stephanie White is a legend in Indiana. She was Miss Basketball there. She played for the Fever, and she was an assistant coach when they won their only championship in 2012. But more importantly, she is a modern coaching mind. She just came from the Connecticut Sun, where she took a team dealing with injuries and turned them into a defensive juggernaut and a playoff contender. She understands the modern game of pace and space. Unlike the previous system, which often felt clunky and slow, White's philosophy is built on speed, quick decisions, and maximizing offensive talent. By confirming this move, Caitlin isn't just returning to the same old struggle, she is stepping into a revamped system built entirely around her. The new team isn't a different jersey. It's a Fever squad that finally knows how to use her. Let's dig deeper into why this coaching change is effectively a new team for Caitlin. Under the old regime, Caitlin was often forced to initiate the offense from almost half-court, dealing with aggressive blitzes and traps, while her teammates stood stagnant. Stephanie White's system is known for player movement and cutting. This means Caitlin won't have to do everything herself. She will have a coach who knows how to scheme players open, how to punish defenses for double teaming, and how to protect her star player physically. White has a reputation for being tough on officials and defending her players in the media, something Caitlin sorely lacked in her rookie year. When Carter knocked Caitlin down, the response from the Fever bench was lukewarm at best. You can bet that under Stephanie White, if anyone touches her point guard, there will be immediate consequences. This protection is what Caitlin needs to go from Rookie of the Year to MVP. However, the drama isn't entirely over, and the new team narrative has another layer involving the expansion draft. With the Golden State Valkyries entering the league, there is a looming fear among Indiana fans that the landscape is shifting too fast. The expansion rules are tricky. While the Fever can protect their core stars like Clark and Aaliyah Boston, the arrival of a new franchise in the Bay Area, backed by the massive pockets of the Golden State Warriors ownership, changes the power dynamics. There were whispered rumors, likely unfounded but persistent, that Golden State would try to trade the farm to get Clark in a Warriors jersey, pairing her with the Steph Curry brand synergy. While that seems unlikely for now, the sheer fact that it's being discussed shows how volatile the situation is. Every team wants her. The New York Liberty wants her star power. The Las Vegas Aces want her shooting. Indiana knows they are on borrowed time if they don't start winning championships immediately. We also have to talk about the teammate aspect of this new era. Part of the new team reality is the development of the players around her. Specifically, Aaliyah Boston. After a rocky start where the chemistry seemed off, mostly due to the lack of practice time and a confusing offensive system, Boston and Clark developed a lethal pick-and-roll game by the end of the season. With Stephanie White coming in, a coach who specializes in developing post players, the Clark-Boston duo is expected to turn into the Shaq and Kobe of the WNBA. The frustration we saw early in the season, where passes were fumbled and spacing was non-existent, should be a thing of the past. This internal improvement effectively gives Caitlin a new supporting cast without a single trade being made. The players are the same, but the utilization will be radically different. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room: the rumors of a player revolt. Throughout the rookie season, there were constant murmurs that players across the league were tired of the Caitlin Clark circus. We heard comments from legends like Cheryl Swoops, who incorrectly cited stats to minimize Caitlin's records, claiming she took 4 years to break a record that she actually broke in less time. We heard Diana Taurasi's "reality is coming" warning, which sounded more like a threat than advice. This new team era for Caitlin is also about her earning her stripes. She has gone through the hazing. She took the hits. She didn't complain to the refs as much as people say. She just got back up and hit a 3 from the logo. Now, entering her second year with a new coach and a solidified roster spot, the dynamic shifts. She is no longer the rookie they can push around. She is the established superstar who holds the keys to the league's financial future. The leverage Caitlin holds right now is unprecedented. The WNBA players recently opted out of their collective bargaining agreement, CBA. This means a labor battle is coming. The players want more money, better travel conditions, and better benefits. And guess who gives them the leverage to demand that? Caitlin Clark. The TV ratings went up by massive percentages. We are talking 300% or 400% increases for Fever games. Merchandise sales went through the roof. Teams that used to play in small college gyms were moving their games to NBA arenas to accommodate the crowds coming to see Caitlin. She is the golden goose. This gives her immense power in the new team dynamic. If the Fever or the league doesn't build around her properly, she has options. The unrivaled league is just the beginning. European teams would offer millions. She could technically go anywhere. This puts immense pressure on the Fever organization to get this new team structure right immediately. There is also the narrative of the villain arc. In her rookie year, Caitlin tried to be the nice girl. She smiled during interviews, she praised her opponents, and she deflected the controversy. But toward the end of the season, and certainly heading into this new era, we are seeing a tougher Caitlin Clark. We saw her start to talk back to the trash talkers. We saw her get technical fouls for standing her ground. This new team version of Caitlin isn't just about a new coach. It's about a new attitude. She realizes now that they aren't going to like her no matter what she does, so she might as well dominate them. The hiring of Stephanie White feeds into this perfectly. White was a gritty, tough-nosed player. She is going to instill a level of toughness in Caitlin that will make her nightmare for the rest of the league. Let's circle back to the unrivaled speculation, because it is crucial to the timeline. The league starts in January. The WNBA season doesn't start until May. This gap is where the rumors thrived. People thought that if she played in Unrivaled, she might realize she likes the 3-on-3 format better. Or she might get injured, jeopardizing her WNBA season. The decision to potentially sit out Unrivaled, or play limited minutes, and focus on her body and the new Fever playbook shows her dedication to winning a traditional championship. But the offer stands as a constant reminder to the WNBA. Treat her right, or she has a place to go. The equity stake mentioned in the Unrivaled offer is the game changer. No WNBA player owns their team. If Unrivaled offers her ownership, she becomes a boss, not just an employee. That is a temptation that will linger over her career for years to come. The media's role in this new team narrative cannot be overstated. For the first time, we have major sports pundits: Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharpe, Pat McAfee, talking about the Indiana Fever every single day. This spotlight creates a pressure cooker. The previous coaching staff crumbled under it. They didn't know how to handle the press conferences where every question was about Caitlin. Stephanie White is different. She has been a broadcaster for ESPN and ABC. She knows how to handle the media. She can act as a shield for Caitlin, deflecting the crazy questions and allowing Clark to focus on basketball. This change in media management is a huge part of the new team feel. The chaos of the rookie year was partly because the organization had no idea how to manage the circus. Now, they have a ringmaster. We also have to look at the chemistry with Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell was the other major scorer for the Fever, and for the first half of the season, it looked like they were playing two different games. There was friction, not personal, but tactical. They both needed the ball. But by the end of the season, they formed the most dangerous backcourt in the league. The new team isn't losing Mitchell, it's unlocking her. With a proper system that defines roles, Mitchell and Clark can be the Splash Sisters of the WNBA. The fear that Mitchell might leave in free agency was real, but the hiring of White and the commitment to building a winner makes Indiana a destination, not a departure lounge. Keeping Mitchell alongside Clark was the first big win of the offseason. And what about the fans? The Caitlin Clark effect has created a new fan base that is loyal to her. Not necessarily the Fever or the WNBA. These fans travel. They wear number 22 jerseys. They engage in online battles defending her stats. This new team confirmation is a relief to them, but they are watching closely. They saw the hard fouls that went uncalled. They saw the referees turn a blind eye when Dijonai Carrington poked Caitlin in the eye during the playoffs, a play that many fans felt was intentional, even if the league called it an accident. These fans are demanding that the new team era includes better protection from the officials. If Caitlin continues to get battered without whistles in year 2, the fan outrage will be 10 times louder. The league cannot afford to alienate the millions of new customers Caitlin brought in. The comparison to other greats is also relevant here. When Michael Jordan struggled against the Pistons, he didn't leave. He hit the weight room and got a coach, Phil Jackson, who built a system, the triangle, that worked. That is exactly what is happening with Caitlin Clark. She took the beating from the bad boy Pistons of the WNBA, the Connecticut Sun, the Las Vegas Aces, the Chicago Sky. Now, she is entering her Phil Jackson era with Stephanie White. She is hitting the weight room to deal with the physicality. The new team is the evolution of a superstar. It's the transition from the phenom who relies on talent to the champion who relies on a system. So, the confirmation is in. Caitlin Clark is staying put in Indiana, but she is no longer playing the victim or the quiet rookie.